Hello, welcome to -4 points and this week's video, which is a game week 25 preview. Now, we're at the state of the season now where there's not that many game weeks left, and I think I can safely say that this season for me is a transitional season. That's what I've decided to call it. A lot of football teams do it in real life. They say it's a transitional period. We're building a lot of young players, we're learning, we're growing as a team. So I've officially decided this is a transitional season for me. That's why my overall rank is not anywhere near where I need it to be, because it's a transitional season. So at first I was blaming COVID. Now I'm calling it a transitional season. That sounds more professional. So let this be a place. Let this channel be a place for people to come and commiserate together about the fact that they're also having a transitional season. And it doesn't always pay off. And you've not had Jared Bowen at all season, and you've still not got him because you've got 3 West Ham players in your squad. Things like that. That's what this channel is slowly becoming. So let's take a look at how I did last week in game week 24. So here's how I did in game week 24 last game week. It was a okay week for me. I mean, 69 points is usually a good score early in the season, but at this stage of the season, when you're like me and you're hovering around the 500,000 game rank and you really would want to be much higher than that, you're kind of hoping for miracle weeks where you can just get crazy big scores to sort of try and get you a little bit higher in their overall ranks, but it wasn't to be. It was a tiny green arrow again. It looks like I'm going to be finishing around about this overall rank. Now I'm just trying to finish as high as possible in my mini leagues. So I did 1 transfer last week, which was a surprise. I surprised myself by just doing 1 transfer. And that was Cancelo. No, that was Laporte. Sorry, Laporte in. And I took Marcus Alonso out because Chelsea don't have a game week. Didn't have a game week last week. Don't have a game week the coming week. So Alonso was out. I doubled down on City defense. It worked. They got a clean sheet. That was a good move in. I had De Gea, Manchester United, I don't know what's happening there, but this is De Gea's last week for me. I've got Sanchez on the bench. He's now got a double game week. De Gea also has a double game week. However, I'm just so sick of Man United and not being able to trust them that I think I'm going to be playing Sanchez now until the end of the season in goal. So De Gea got 2. Trent, Cancelo, and Laporte all kept clean sheets. In midfield, I did gamble on Salah. I was really hoping Salah would come back and start the game. He didn't start the game. He came off the bench. He didn't do anything, so it didn't pay off. I've held Salah this whole time. And another one of my many mistakes I've made this season is I had just held Salah. I just had other transfers to do. I did a free hit one week, and I just thought, you know what? I've had Salah this long. I might as well just hold him in the hope that there's a game week like game week 24 where he could come back and people don't bring him back and you have him and he plays and does well. But it didn't work out. Another risk I've taken that hasn't paid off. Woohoo! More risks that haven't paid off. Join us. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Twitter. Commiserate with me if you also have risks that don't pay off in this transitional season for my fantasy football team. I did have Jota, but it seems like most other people had Jota, so he got 16. Elanga is my sort of outside punt, my cheap midfielder who I'm hoping gives me an edge, hoping he can score a goal here or there. He didn't even start. So, well done to my team. Well done to my team. Elanga didn't even start. Well done to my team also because Martinelli got sent off. Well done to my team. Martinelli got sent off. 0 points for Martinelli. I captained De Bruyne. 11 points he got, so I got 22. Not bad. And up front, Broja and Antonio. Now, Antonio's just hanging on into my team. For so long, I've wanted to get Antonio out and try and get Bowen in because I've got 3 West Ham players at the moment. But it just never seems to be where I can just never justify doing the transfers to get one of the West Ham players out and then Bowen in. So I missed out on another Bowen goal. Antonio did nothing. He's going to still be in my team for next week. Spoiler alert for the end of the video. Antonio's still in my team. I can't get rid of him. And on the bench, nothing really. I had Calvert-Lewin starting originally instead of Broja. So I was happy when Broja scored after Calvert-Lewin didn't even play. I'm sticking with Calvert-Lewin for 1 more week. I just think they've got Leeds at home next. If Lampard can kind of get Everton a bit more attacking, if you can get them going, if Calvert-Lewin can finally get match fitness, I'm just hoping Calvert-Lewin is someone who gets going later on in the season. So that's how I did last week in game week 24. And let's now take a look at the players who are on my watch list ahead of game week 25. Here's the watch list. So with the watch list this week, I'm kind of going to be showing players who I want to bring in, but I'm not bringing in, and I'm going to be kind of explaining why I'm not bringing them in. So Coutinho is the first player who looks amazing, looks in great form, was amazing at the weekend. 2 assists and a goal. He looks like he's really playing with a point to prove. And if this was earlier on in the season, I would have got Coutinho, definitely. I would have jumped on him like an early transfer straight away. However, my thinking now is there's a double game week coming in game week 26. And I can't get play. We're not in the stage of the season where you get players for the long run. There's only like 9 or 8 game weeks left. So now your mentality has got to be, who do I play in the weeks and who has the advantages? And double game weeks are going to be massive in this end of season. So Coutinho doesn't have a double game week in game week 25, and he doesn't have one in 26 so far. So my priority right now is aiming for that game week 26 and getting in as many double game week players now, so I don't have to get them all next week. So that's why I'm not getting Coutinho. I know he's a good pick. I know he'll probably score this weekend, but you could get someone else who could score this weekend because there's lots of midfield options at the moment. And then you could hope that the player you get has a double game week in game week 26 as well. So that's what I'm thinking. That's why I've also not gone for Burnley yet. On the list is Weghorst and Cornet. I'm still not sure about both of these players because the new striker on the block, I'm thinking he should be the player to pick, but he's not scored yet. He did get an assist, so I'm just waiting to see how he looks against Liverpool. If he impresses against Liverpool, if he gets some kind of return against a good team like Liverpool, then I'm going to want to jump on him for the double game week. They don't have a good double game week in 25, so I'm not rushing onto Burnley yet. However, they've got still like 4 extra games to fit into their schedule. So I'm looking at him. I'm looking at Cornet. That's why I'm not getting him. Saint-Maximin is another one who, if it was early in the season, I'd have got Saint-Maximin already because, like Coutinho, he looks good. The team look like they're playing better. Newcastle are starting to pick up a bit of form now. However, he's not got double game weeks coming up. So I can't justify bringing in a player at this stage of the season, even if they're in good form, if they've not got double game weeks. And that's what I'm prioritizing for next week, because I could get Saint-Maximin and he could score and I miss out on that, and he could score next week and miss out. But if I get the right player next week who's got a double game week, and they could outscore him. So my transfer this week is going to be someone who has a double game week next week, and my transfer next week will be someone also who has a double game week that week. So that's why I'm not getting Saint-Maximin, and that's why I'm not getting Coutinho, even though I understand if you have them, and if you're doing a free hit, that you definitely want them. But that's why I don't have them. And the last one I'm keeping an eye on is Eriksen. Now, I do think Eriksen's not played yet, and there is going to be a time when he plays. It could be this week, it could be next week. I just think as soon as he plays, I think he at 5.5 million, he could be amazing value. So I think a lot of people are going to forget about Eriksen because people like Coutinho are doing well now, and people are having double game weeks. However, I'm keeping an eye on the fixtures. If Eriksen comes into some form, if he starts playing, if he gets match fitness, and Brentford have a double game week, he's in. Get him straight in the team. So that's my watch list for game week 25. None of those players made my team this week. Let's take a look at who has made my team this week, and let's take a look at my team for game week 25. So as this transitional season for me winds into game week 25, this is how my team looks. I've done 2 transfers, -4 points. Woohoo, another -4 points. I'm staying on brand. I simply cannot stop doing -4 point transfers. So I've done it again. I've brought in Zaha. Now, why have you brought in Zaha, when there's people like Coutinho, Saint-Maximin? Because Zaha has a double game week next week, and Brentford away is not the hardest game. And I just feel like Zaha is a streaky player. To me, historically, he's been a player where he's in form for a good sort of 6-7 weeks, then he goes quiet again. So he's got an amazing goal last week. I just think he's come back from a break. He's not played for a while. I'm just hoping it's a punt as well. At this stage of the season, I've got to start taking punts. I can't go for Bowen, Coutinho, the players everyone else has got, because that's just going to keep my rank. I've got to pick some different people. So Zaha's my transfer this week because I just think I've got a naughty feeling. I like a gamble. I like a punt. So I'm going for Zaha, who next week he has 2 fixtures, so I don't have to worry about that. And to finance Zaha coming out, I took out Martinelli, who won't be playing both of the games. So I was holding Martinelli, hoping to have him for the double game week next week for Arsenal. He's not going to play either of those games now. So Martinelli's out, Zaha's in, and also I had to fund that. So I took De Gea out, and I brought in a 3.9 goalkeeper, Lewis from Southampton. So he's on the bench. He's never going to play. And Sanchez will be my goalkeeper going forward. So I'm fairly confident about the defense. They've all got away games, but they're playing, Burnley and Norwich. So I'm hoping the defense can get some returns. I'm hoping Sanchez, even though he's got 2 away games, they are against Watford, who aren't really high scoring, and Man United, who you never know what you're going to get from them. Burnley could go to Old Trafford and keep a clean sheet. That's what I'm hoping for. So that's why Sanchez is in goal. The captaincy is on Salah. I'm now assuming Salah will be starting games. So he's captain against Burnley. That's a good game for him to kind of come back and get back amongst the goals. Jota, I'm sticking with Elanga, probably for the last week, just because he has a double game week. And if he plays one of those games and does okay, maybe he can justify starting the other game. They're not that hard fixtures for Man United, so I'm just hoping Elanga gets another chance. I just can't take him out this week when he has a double game week. So Elanga's still there. I might be expecting 2 points from him over 2 games. However, it's another punt, and I've got De Bruyne still. And then up front, Antonio is still hanging on it. My plan is to finally take Antonio out next week when teams have double game weeks and bring in a striker who has 2 games. So Antonio's staying here for this week. And Calvert-Lewin, I'm hoping Calvert-Lewin is fit enough to start. And if he does start, it's Leeds at home. Leeds concede goals for fun. So if Everton are ever going to get going, surely it's Leeds at home. Surely Calvert-Lewin, if he plays, it's a risk. It's another risk. I feel like the risks in my team are Calvert-Lewin, Antonio, Elanga, Zaha. If 2 of those players sort of get returns, I think it'll be a good week. And then on the bench, Lewis, Broja, who's got Man United away. That's a fairly decent sub to come in. If any of these players don't play, Broja could do something against Man United. And then the 2 cheap West Ham defenders who don't do anything and have been blocking me getting Bowen in all this time. They're just sat there on the bench, getting ready for some zeros from them. So I've spent all my money. We've got no money in the bank. I've done 2 transfers, no active chips. That's the team. That's the team for game week 25. I'm at the stage of the season now where I don't know what to expect. I'm doing okay. It's an average season. I'd like to be doing much better. Let's see if we can pick up a few more small green arrows towards the end of the season. And let's see how it goes. Let me know in the YouTube comments, in the Twitter, on Instagram. It's at -4 points across the board. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know. Commiserate with me. Let me know if you're also having a transitional season. And thanks for watching. And I'll be back next week to let you know if Elanga got a hat-trick, if Zaha got 2 goals, if Antonio's back, and if Calvert-Lewin came back with 2 goals. So that's my team for Game Week 25. Good luck to all of you with your Game Week 25s, and I'll see you next week.